From San Diego, California to your town, it's the Quinn Early Show. Show up early and stay late for the best in life-changing talk. With NFL and Hollywood guests, to world changers and nonprofits, to Alzheimer's prevention and research. It's time to turn up. The Quinn Early Show.
Welcome back to the show. So today's guest is Mark Vlasic. Mark and I played together at the University of Iowa, and then again with the San Diego Chargers. And Mark went on to play for the Kansas City Chiefs for a number of years. Mark, welcome to the show.
Good to be here, Q. I'm doing great today.
So tell us a little bit about your beginnings, how you got to Iowa back in the day.
That goes back to Barry Alvarez thinking he found some knucklehead in Western Pennsylvania and thought he'd give him a chance to come to Iowa. So Coach Alvarez grew up in the just outside of Burgettstown, where maybe 30 minutes from where I grew up, just outside of Pittsburgh, and was very blessed to have him come back to Western Pennsylvania and find a guy like me and offer a scholarship to the University of Iowa.
Well, I'll tell you, we've known each other since we were teenagers. And first, let me say it's really good to see you. What about your time with the Chargers? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Q, I was lucky enough to be drafted, 88th pick in the 1987 draft, and fortunate enough to be on a team with guys like Dan Fouts, Kellen Winslow, Wes Chandler. Man, I'm just sitting here thinking of all the guys back then and kind of laughing as a rookie coming in. I was a half-day holdout because they wanted to give me a contract to say, hey, we'd pay you half the minimum salary if you were on IR. And I remember Dan Fouts laughing and saying, my God, Mark, I made $27,000 my rookie year. So it's funny to see them hear the numbers that are out there now for, a quarterback picked at that stage today is probably getting a 7-figure signing bonus. And as Dan let me know pretty early, he said, we all played before our time when it came to the money.
Wow, that's funny. I remember when I got drafted, it was the same thing. It was more money than I had ever seen, and it wasn't that much back in the late 80s. And I thought, wow, I'll never have to work again. And boy, was that the farthest thing from the truth. What about your time with the Chiefs?
So, again, blessed enough to start in the league where there was enough of really what I would call the old school traditions, and the guys like Dan Fouts and Kellen and Billy Ray Smith and the guys who were on the team my rookie year. It was also the first year, it was 1987 was the year they had the strike. So that was my introduction to the league. Right. But a benefactor of that was my third year in the league, they started the form of Plan B free agency. So when it came after my fourth year in San Diego, I was not protected and I had an opportunity to explore another team to start and bring my skills to. And I was lucky enough to end up with Kansas City Chiefs and spent 2 years here before they brought a guy, Joe Montana. and
I remember
imagine that
vaguely.
And they picked him over me.
I don't see how that happened.
I don't know what they were thinking. So I spent my last year and a half in Tampa Bay, and my wife Amy and I, we loved Kansas City, settled here, and 26 years later, we're still in Kansas City.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing now.
So now, having spent the 7+ years and fortunate enough to exceed the average career as an NFL player, my experience with agents and advisors, I learned a lot through that period of time. And I just wanted to get into a profession where I had an opportunity to help people take care of their money and take care of their financial futures. And so for the last 24 years, I've been serving as a financial quarterback for my clients and helping them achieve everything important to them and live the lives they expect.
Now, I saw you on some Facebook posts with one of your sons playing football. Tell me a little bit about that.
So Amy and I have 3 children. My oldest is a pediatrician doing a residency in Salt Lake City. My So that's Erica. Our middle one, Vanessa, works for Cake TV. She produces the Good Morning Kansas show in Wichita. And our youngest is a senior in high school, and this year he actually decided just to focus on basketball. So where I got close to being 6'4", somehow I got listed as 6'6" as a freshman in Iowa. I don't know how that happened. But Ethan is about 6'8" and loves to play basketball.
Wow, awesome. Well, good for you guys, man. So now it's interesting that both you and I have our lives kind of, parallel. With us both playing at Iowa, us both playing in the league and together with the Chargers. But on a more serious note, both of our mothers suffered from Alzheimer's. Mine passed away in 2013. I know that your mom is dealing with it. Can you tell me a little bit about how she's doing?
But, as you had experienced with your mom, and so sorry for your loss and really everything your family dealt with while she was here, understand and definitely empathize with I miss my mom and she's still here. So it's a much different scenario than ever played out or desired, as you grew up and mom took care of us. So it's just our turn to take care of her. And so she's in her 7th year of being diagnosed with frontal temporal dementia. And in 2013, we had to move her from her house in western Pennsylvania and move her out to Kansas City with us. And day to day, I know she smiles, knows who we are, but it's still one of those things. You miss the mom that we had growing up and miss the mom that you had when we would see her in River Falls or in Iowa City.
Well, listen, my heartfelt love and prayers for you guys. Like you said, I've been through it, and just enjoy the time that you have with her, because it's extremely special and precious. And I know I did when my mom was still here, and I'm with you guys, and I think about you guys daily.
I appreciate that, Q. It's just amazing how life works out and the fork in the road we go to, and reflecting back on the days at Iowa. And I would say, Quinn, it's been pretty special to be connected, to go back to our days at Iowa, and had the opportunity to have, for one season, the longest touchdown pass in Iowa history, until somebody named Quinn Early rebroke it the next year. Shame on you. Anyway, to be able to be in the record book with you on that one, and then to be connected when you came to San Diego, my second start in the NFL was the game I threw my first NFL touchdown pass. Recipient, Quinn Early, back of the end zone in Anaheim Stadium shortly before I tore my ACL. But to know our football careers and lives connected back then, in a weird way, the opportunity to reconnect again now with what our mother's gone through. It's good to catch up with you again. Just wish it was back on the football field. And
I know, me too.
I can't thank you enough for making me look a heck of a lot better than I was. And I assume somehow on this podcast and this video, you'll make me look a little better too.
I'll tell you, Mark, I really appreciate you, and I appreciate our friendship through the years. And it's great to connect with you. And I really appreciate you being on the show today, and just take care of your mom, and my love to your family and to your kids. And let's stay connected, and we'll talk soon.
Hey, Q, I will do that. And I just want, as an advocate for I would say, angels that are here on earth that care for our moms like they do, with the passion that they do. I was lucky enough to meet a family here in Kansas City that started a care concept where it's more in a group home setting. Senior care homes is where my mom lives now. Yeah. And a family has purchased individual houses in neighborhoods, and they provide full lockdown care in a much smaller setting than some of the large institutional settings. And it was a level of care I didn't even know existed. And right. So I'm also an advocate to let others know there are multiple avenues to help take care of parents. And part of what I do as a career is help families plan for not just the emotional, but the potential financial devastation of these diseases when it comes to the care. But when you find the right care, your mom's in the right place. And my brothers and I are just so lucky to have that for her.
Absolutely. I think it's important for those of us that have been there, and those of us that are going through it, to kind of pay it forward and let people know that there are resources and there are things that you can do to help the situation and to help your loved ones be comfortable. And I think that, you and I have talked about where your mom is before, and it's just an optimal situation. And I'm glad that she's being cared for, and she's very lucky to have sons like you guys.
Well, and lucky that this world has guys like you sharing that message out there, and let's help beat this devastating disease. Absolutely.
Well, Mark, I'm going to let you go, but thanks for being on the show, and I look forward to talking to you soon.
All right, Q, take care, buddy.
All right, brother, take care. Talk to you soon.
From San Diego, California to your town, it's the Quinn Early Show. Show up early and stay late for the best in life-changing talk. With NFL and Hollywood guests, to world changers and nonprofits, to Alzheimer's prevention and research. It's time to turn up. The Quinn Early Show.